What is going on, social media family? My name is Jorge Lopez and I am your sales consultant. We are located in Tomball, Texas, and Tomball Ford is your dealership of choice. Welcome to yet another Bronco video where I'm going to be discussing a few things that you need to know, like what to stay away from, timeline, when you can order your next Bronco. So stay tuned. This is an informative video you cannot miss. So the very first question that I get asked about the 2024 Ford Bronco is, when can you order the truck, the Bronco? Well, let me tell you that you can order the Ford Bronco starting August 16, 2023 for the 2024 model year. Now, Ford has not released yet when job one will be, meaning when Ford is starting production for the Ford Bronco, but normally if it's going to be open in August, then we're looking tentative maybe October-ish timeframe before Ford starts building the very first 2024 Ford Broncos. So you need to make sure that you are on your dealership's list. Make sure that you order with your dealership as soon as possible, because Ford Bronco order banks will close sooner than expected again, just because of the high demand of the Ford Bronco. We really don't have any of them in inventory to sell to the public. Every single incoming Ford Bronco that has been pre-ordered, I would say a good 90% of them, customers are sticking with their orders and buying their pre-ordered Bronco. And we really rarely have anyone that backs out of their Bronco, at least at my dealership, and we have them available for sale to the public. So make sure that you get to your dealership and order the Bronco as soon as possible so that you can collect that timestamp, that early timestamp, so that you have a good chance of getting your Bronco built sooner than later. Also, let's talk again about priority code, because man, I can't tell you how many times I get feedback from you, comments from you guys letting me know that some of these dealerships are still having a hard time understanding what these priority codes are. Make sure that when you get your order summary form from your dealership explaining all of the options and equipment and features of your Ford Bronco that you've ordered, to make sure that you check what the priority code is that is listed on that form. I'll put a picture on the screen so that you can reference to it, but make sure that it does not listed as a 99. Okay, you need to make sure that you're at a priority code between a 3 to a 19. So let me spend a few moments on that. Forever, Ford had priority codes 10 through 19 and 99. We already talked about 99. 10 through 19 basically tells Ford, hey, these are ready to be built. And Ford does look at the lower priority codes first versus that of maybe a 19. But keep in mind that if we've got two identical builds, one is listed at a 10, the other one's listed at a 19, and they're identical builds, then yes, Ford will pick up the 10 before they will pick up the 19. But let's just assume that we've got a trim level that Ford is having a hard time building, like a Wildtrak, and we've got that Wildtrak at a 10. And then let's suppose that we've got an Outer Banks or a Big Bend in that same dealership, and he or she has a priority code 19. Well, even though the 10 is something that Ford looks at first, but because of the trim level and because Ford is still having issues with that combination of packages, they will skip that 10 and build this 19. So yes, priority code has something to do with it, but it is not the 100% way that Ford will pick up an order. It depends on the trim level and on the packages, and I'm going to spend a few moments with you telling you what to try to avoid. So first of all, going to the trim levels, it looks like the Wildtrak that we talked about, Ford is building 15% of the Wildtraks for 2024. So if you can, please stay away from the Wildtrak and stay away from the Badlands. The Badlands, I think, has been the #1 trim level selected by you guys. Ford is building 13% of the Badlands for 2024. So stay away from Wildtrak, stay away from Badlands. Now, the reason why the Wildtrak was such a popular trim level is because of the Haas 3.0 and because it has a little bit more paint like the grill and on the handles. But if you can live without that Haas 3.0, go to something else. The Haas 3.0 is ideal situation is for that person that is going to go fast outdoors on trails. How often are you going to be doing that? If you're not going to be doing that often, then consider moving away from the Wildtrak. The Badlands is another problem for 2024 Bronco. The Badlands design is for it to go off-road on a serious off-road trail. You're rock crawling. You're going really slow through an extremely tough terrain because you've got the stabilizer disconnect and you also have the lockers. Now you have to ask yourself, how often are you going to be using or being in that situation where you actually need the capabilities of the Badlands? So please stay away from the Wildtrak and the Badlands if you can help yourself. The Lux package, Ford is doing 50% of the Lux package. Remember, the Lux package gives you the B&O sound system, the adaptive cruise control, and also gives you your wireless charging pad. If you can live without those things, go to a high package. A high package still gives you your 360 camera and still gives you your biggest display that you can get on the radio area, which is, I think, the number one thing that people seek. Another problem item is the marine grade vinyl interior on the Badlands. Ford is making 43% of those. So if you are going with the Badlands trim level, which I recommend to stay away from, go with the leather package. Now you'll have your carpet, you'll have your power seats, you'll have your leather equipment, but you're going to be having a better chance of getting that Badlands built versus going with the marine grade vinyl and the washout flooring. So again, you have to ask yourself, how often are you going to be washing out the interior of the Badlands? Another problem is Everglades and Heritage, which according to this, Ford is still going to be building for 2024, and that is a combined 7%. So definitely stay away from those right there. Another problem item is a 2.7 EcoBoost. 46% of the Broncos are going to be built with the 2.7. And then lastly, on this constraints items, you've got a 4-door hardtop that's going to be about 65%, and then a 2-door, which is going to be the difference. Another important piece of information that you guys need to know is for those that have a 2023 Ford Bronco in the order system. Unfortunately, Ford has made a decision to not price protect your Ford Bronco if your Ford Bronco does not get picked up for model year 2023. This basically means that if your order doesn't get picked up, you will have to start fresh. You will have to start all over for 2024. And unfortunately, Ford will not be able to guarantee that your price is locked in like Ford has in the past. For the past couple of years, there has been a model year transition offer where basically it's kind of like a rebate where Ford helps absorb part of the price increases throughout the past few years for the Ford Bronco. But unfortunately, Ford decided that they're not going to be doing that for 2024. So I am so sorry to say that if your order does not get picked up, we will have to start fresh from the get-go. The last thing I want to say about ordering a 2024 Bronco is that on August 14, 2023, Ford is going to be releasing the order guides, which I'm going to have access to. So stay tuned for a follow-up video to this video so that I can share with you what changes, what options and features are brand new for 2024 Bronco. I'm excited to see what is coming. On August 16, 2023, the day that the order banks are going to be opening, that is the day that the Ford Build and Price tool website is going to go live so that you can actually see what changes become available for the Ford Bronco. Also, I want to share with you that if you do not feel confident with the dealership that you're working with back home, obviously give them a shot, give them an opportunity. But if you do wish to work with somebody that is reputable, somebody that has a perfect 5-star rating in Google, somebody that is competent about my abilities to make sure that everything goes well, I ask you to contact me today I would be more than happy to start a conversation with you and tell you how easy of a process it is to buy from me, your sales consultant, your Bronco specialist here at Tomball Ford. And if you live outside of Texas, it does not matter because we can arrange shipping, we can deliver the Bronco to your doorstep, and we can actually send you the contract electronically so that you can sign off on it. So you really have nothing to lose, and you actually might have something to gain because we make sure that every order goes in perfectly. If you have any questions, the comment section below is always open, and don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like and share this video because there will be more follow-up videos to the 2024 ordering a Ford Bronco best practices. So stay tuned. On to the next video. Have a blessed day.